anxietycenter.com.
Yeah, and our province right now is struggling with a lot of medical things because a lot of burnout, through COVID and everything else, trying to get, recruits back into the system to meet the need, because a lot of people didn't go for medical help during COVID. So now the
we
whole
saw
rush
that
is on.
too. I took care of a gal who had, poor thing, had perforated her freaking stomach.
Wow.
And stayed home for days, Jim.
Yeah.
Because the CT gal came and got me, and I was like, what does CT want with me? Mm-hmm. She's just talking nonstop, and she's showing me I've never seen a CT scan in my life, and she's talking nonstop, and I'm trying to grasp what she's saying, and finally I put it together. I was like, oh my God. I said, I need the doctor right now.
Yeah, geez. Yeah.
Like right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nasty. So hopefully the medical system will improve. Yeah.
The medical system is in a miserable state right now. I feel so sorry for my friends.
It is. It's really tough. And
I feel bad because I offer no support to them because I'm so stinking burnt out. Like I said, just even being at the animal hospital.
Yep.
It's like, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. So Marguerite, did I answer your question? Did you have any more questions?
Did.
Yeah.
Is treatment for burnout? I know you don't really, but I'm sure burnout falls into anxiety somehow.
Well, hyperstimulation would be classified as burnout.
But I feel like the burnout, that has not cleared it. That has not budged at all. Like I said, like going to does that just take time?
It takes time, and you're not there yet. So, remember the glass example where your glass is still pretty full. I mean, even though it's come down a long ways, you've come a long ways in the time you've been working at it, and you're working through the emotional stuff, which is stressful but necessary. So you still have some distance to go, and you'll find that burnout phase leaves as you get right to the end of recovery.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you I'm pleased with the progress I have made. So you think the hurt and the emotions is just stuff coming to the surface?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And that's the stuff that we bury. So it's good that it's coming out and you're managing it well. You're doing really great. So proud of all the work you're doing. I wish it was faster for you. I wish your body could catch up faster. It just doesn't. We haven't found any way to speed that up. So you just got to endure. And as you keep working at it, you'll get better and better.
Stacy told me, he said, this made me cry. He said, Marguerite, I don't know how you've lasted as long as you have.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a trooper. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So you're on the right track. So good for you. Stay the course. Be patient. Continue to be patient. You will get there. You get your normal energy back. You'll get that fiery compassion back, but at a healthy range so you can take those things. But then, even then, you're going to have to moderate what you do, making sure you're balancing that with enough rest and relaxation and joy.
Joy, that's a big thing too, Jim.
Yep.
I think that's why I do the spa days. And
mm-hmm. It's all helpful. Yeah, it all triggers those good, nice feel-good hormones and other chemicals, which is all good. So indulge away. Yeah, you bet.
If I don't have to do it, I don't do. Like I done told my family, if y'all think I'm cooking and cleaning and doing some big stuff this holidays, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, good for you. That's a good boundary. Yeah, it's a good boundary. And they'll just have to accept it and move on. But you know what'll happen? Your respect will go through the roof. They will respect you. They may not like what you say, but they will certainly respect you. Whereas when we're people pleasers, we don't get respect.
Hey, you're right. I have noticed that. Yes. Oh yes. You could do a whole series on that.
Yep. Yes.
Seriously. It's like people, it feels harsh to me, but I'm learning that it's normal. It just feels harsh to me because of how I grew up.
Yeah.
But it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. Janine, when I was thinking about it, just talking with Marguerite here, Cloud and Townsend has a full course on boundaries. That's the one we used to teach at our church several years ago. It's expanded on their regular boundaries book. So if you're looking at having running groups with boundaries, inquire about their full course. It's way more in depth. I think way more helpful.
Yeah, I like that guy too. I watch him on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
So I do have to kind of pace myself some because I think I can kind of drive, the same things that kind of got me sick kind of inhibit recovery. Like I can kind of drive myself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You bet. Yeah. Yeah.
So I do have to kind of,
yep.
Like it's even like with spiritual reading or recovery and therapy, sometimes I'm just like probably till the first of the year, I'm just like, nope, not going to do any of that. Going to read happy books, going to listen to happy books on tape.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
I don't know if that makes sense what I'm trying to say, but I will look into that though.
No, I'm sorry. That was directed at Janine. If she's
Janine, sorry.
Yeah, if she's looking at Giving Boundaries courses at her church, they have that expanded program, which is really good. Yeah.
Everybody needs a lesson in boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. I didn't realize that they offered anything like that. So I'll definitely look into it. And it's been really eye-opening for me as I have been reading through the Boundaries book and, just doing the same things in my life. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Oh, if you get the course, way more in depth, man. It just, it draws so much out. So, it used to be on DVDs series. I can't recall how many it was a number of years ago now, but it's really in depth and way more helpful than, some of the books they have out. I mean, the books are good too. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. They just don't cover the topic to the same degree that their course does.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. And Marguerite, you stay away from that stuff. You focus on your recovery.
Last time I told you I had one of the things I make these bookmarks and it's relaxing for me. Well, I had stacks of them,
Yeah.
And so I donated them and the library put them on display and now they're selling them.
Well, there you go. And maybe another source of revenue, hey?
Yeah, I can pay for my therapy now with my bookmark.
There you go. And it's something you like to do. So win-win.
If anybody needs a bedazzled bookmark, let me know. I'm your girl. I'll mail it to you.
That's it.
All right.
It's crazy. And I never would, I think too, I'd like to put this out into the mix. Be willing to try things that you wouldn't normally. I would have never thought I would have enjoyed bookmarks and making jewelry, and be willing to try. If you don't like it, don't do it again.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, good for you. I should get to the rest of the callers here. As we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. I think one last three. Yeah, he's left already. Janine or Jeffrey, did you want to ask your questions before we wrap?
Go ahead, Janine. I'll be patient.
Oh, no, I basically got on here today. I just want to thank everyone for I had listened to one of the last recording, and I heard, several women on here sharing how they too had to struggle with, because of their background, struggle with coming to grips with the fact that God loves us regardless, and that it's not anything that we do. We don't have to strive to make ourselves good enough for Him. That's kind of the last piece that I'm working through from the abuse that I had when I was younger. And so I just wanted to thank the women who were in on that call for sharing that, because, here's the thing is, we walk around for most of our lives thinking that everybody else but us had it all together. But it's just not the case. We've all got junk. My pastor says we're all jacked up.
Yeah.
And we are, but we don't have to go it alone, and to be open and vulnerable with others is what Jesus called us to do. And I just wanted to thank everyone for sharing that piece.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Janine, that's so sweet. If somebody would have told me I would have got on some call, I would have told them no way.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember the first one I did with Jim, I was shaking and my heart was going, and I had sweated myself completely out by the end of that.
Yeah, I feel you, girl.
Yeah.
I had sweated myself clear. I think I had to change my shirt and my bra. I was like, and then I thought, oh my God, it's on YouTube. And, but then I just thought, well, if somehow my pain can do any good to help anybody else, hey, you're welcome to it.
Look at that love.
But, it helps us to talk about it, though, too. I mean, it helps solidify the things we're learning and changing,
Yep.
So,
Yeah. All you coming on here to be vulnerable in public, is really remarkable. But I think really that's how we heal. We heal by bringing this stuff to the forefront. We heal by recognizing, as you said, Janine, we all have stuff. If you look at the DSM, the manual for mental health, we're all in there. Different things, different struggles. So why not be vocal about it and talk about it so we can break some of these, stubborn stigmas that just do us such a disservice. So that's why I'm so appreciative for all of you who come onto these conversations and are willing to be that vulnerable. It really does demonstrate your compassion and love to help others through our own adversity. And isn't that biblical, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
And seeing our own, I think this struggle has made me even more of a compassionate person. I feel bad saying some people don't want to get well, but it's also made me, because, my sister just drinks like crazy. And it's just like, why can't you quit drinking? Well, I've ate myself up to 200 pounds, so it's given me compassion.
Yep.
It definitely humbles us. It definitely humbles me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really brings way down to the floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to serve, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But for the grace of God, there go I.
Yep. Totally.
I probably would have killed myself if I would have been a drinker,
and
or killed somebody else or something. The way I've eaten and all my anxiety symptoms, good God.
I almost wished I was a drinker, because if I would drink, then I wouldn't know the difference between getting dizzy mentally or being vestibular issues being drink.
Yeah. Oh,
that's so funny that you mentioned that, Janice, because actually when I drink, I feel much better. It gets rid of my symptoms, and that's how I knew. I was like, oh, this is the anxiety dizziness. It's like, it gets rid of a lot of the symptoms.
It'd be easy to turn to a drunk.
Yeah. And, people are drinking and they're taking drugs now, recreational drugs. They're legalizing drugs to help people cope, when we really should be learning to cope with life in healthy ways, so we don't have to drink and all that stuff. But
that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I hate to take anything. And I really don't, very rarely, because I want it to be me. I'm not taking care of the issue if I'm taking a drug to mask the, what word am I looking for? I'm not doing it myself.
Yeah.
Like it's just a Band-Aid.
Yep.
That's the word.
And the thing that kind of breaks our hearts is we have people who come to us, they see our approach and then they choose medication. And when the medication provides some relief, then they leave. And then we see them 3 and 4 years later back on multiple medications. And then they have to start breaking the medications, which is even harder.
Oh my God.
So
Jim, that's my sister. That is my sister. She drives me nuts about getting on medication. And it's like, she's been on it for 20 years and now she's on 2 or 3 and it didn't even do anything for her.
Yeah.
She's so messed up. It's just, and now she probably can't.
Yeah. Janice, my 2 brothers and my sister are on truckloads.
Yeah. I won't do it.
And drinking on top of that.
Yeah.
Maybe I just die this way. There's no way. I took Lexapro like you did that one time. I took it one night and I had a horrible, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a serotonin, rush, but it was really, really, really bad. It was really bad. And that was just taking one. That wasn't even easing into or not. No way. I'm not. I'll just, if I have to suffer like this the rest of my life and die this way, it's fine. But I'm not getting on drugs and going through what my sister deals with and other people I see on Facebook and these groups.
Yeah.
They've got all these groups where people are trying to get off this stuff. And some of them have been weaning off for 3 years.
Yep. Yeah, I know. And, I understand the desire to get out of symptoms. I get that. Who likes them? Nobody does. And
I hate them, Jim. I hate them.
I often hear people too say, well, my counselor just said to take medication for 6 months and then I'll work on my anxieties and I'll be good. And I'm thinking, that's not going to work. And we see it time and time and time and time. They're on for 6 months. They feel a little better. They don't do the therapy because they feel better. And then they get off. And then 2 months later, they're in crisis again. It's just, we have compassion for them. We like to see them get better, but we like to see them get better for good. And we can, because all of the strategies are winners. We can do their behavioral work to break this cycle. But the problem is it takes time and it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's unresolved emotions and unresolved trauma that medicine will not take care of. It'll just keep coming back and coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about abuse, like a lot of us come from abusive backgrounds. When you look at statistics, they're really staggering. It used to be 2 in 5 boys experienced abuse growing up, and then 3 in 5 women. Now it's actually gone up. It's higher than that now. Well, that abuse takes a toll on us psychologically and emotionally. Why do you think we struggle?
I've even told my siblings were being harsh to me one day, and I said, "You guys wonder why I have severe anxiety?"
I know.
Golly.
Yeah. And then you have friends that tell you, well, you know what? Everybody has bad, a lot of people have bad childhood and stuff, and you just can't keep going back. You need to just move on away from it and blah, blah. You can't do that. The brain hangs on to trauma.
Sure.
It's not going to let it go.
Well, and Janice, what do you do about the flashbacks? Because let me tell you, that was something I talked to Jim about when I very first because Jim and Stacy both said you're going to get really sick now. And when I mean really sick, they should have said really, really, really sick. But
it's better,
But I had such severe flashbacks and hellish nightmares that would take me, days and days. Just to try to calm myself down. I can't. I don't know how to express adequately the horror and the terror I was in for, God, probably for sure the first 6 months, but maybe even up to the year. I still get it now, but I'm able to contain and, kind of work through it. But how are you going to I don't even know that they could have given me enough medication. They'd have had to just knock me out.
Yeah.
And sadly, we do see a lot of...
That's what they did years ago, because that's what they did to my dad, being a veteran back in the 60s. They just pumped him up, gave him a big giant, like 10-inch tall pill bottle of Valium. And when he'd go in the hospital, they would just try all kinds of stuff on them and stuff, because of his past traumas and mental illness.
And unfortunately, we see a lot of people come to us who are so medicated, they're barely coherent. And, it's really sad to see the states they get into, and they don't do it willfully. They're just following, the advice they're given, but they get into these places where they're so medicated trying to cope. It's just really sad. And so that's why we are advocates.
Even the opiate crisis, Jim, because the pain, that was one of my very main symptoms. And I still get some pain now. I do. Nothing like before, but the pain, I remember I told you this one time on the phone. I had some Percocet that I didn't take when I broke my ankle. And I remember standing by my bedside table, holding that bottle, thinking, crying and saying to myself, if you can't take the pain anymore, you can take one of these. I finally quit taking the Tylenol and Motrin because I'm like, I'm just going to blow out my kidneys and it ain't helping me no way. So I might as well just not even take it.
Yeah.
But I would just lay on that heating pad. I would get in the shower and put the hot water as hot as I could just stand it. But when I say pain, that pain did not let up for probably, when I started seeing real significant drop in the pain was for sure a year. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Day and night. There'd be times I couldn't even, I would have to lay down. It was horrible. It was and afraid to go to sleep. Ugh.
Yeah.
They would have put me on everything under this. Oh, and then that excruciating esophageal spasm or whatever that thing is. That I see why people go to the emergency room for that. But
yeah.
But so if I would have went in, they would have just given me all these dang drugs.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have helped. And so I just stayed home and just told myself 1,000 times an hour, you're going to be okay. This isn't, these dreams aren't real. Your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are not your reality. Right. I mean, it was hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my.
It was hard.
I have a real supportive husband. He walks by and groans and shuts the door and goes outside. This is what I live with. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Oh
is,
my.
No, yeah. Very little support. But anyway, I didn't mean to. He just did that and it just caught me. And I went,
makes it
I didn't
hard.
mean to interrupt you.
That's adding to your stress,
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
those relationships.
Yeah.
It does.
My
Because
husband has
he's
developed some compassion.
He thinks that you should bury it. I don't know if your husband's that way, but it's like, if the more you talk about it, the worse you make it.
Yep.
Because he's emotionless. I mean, he doesn't bring up things that bother him. He doesn't like to talk. That's how a lot of men are.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was hard. But Jim, I mean, to get on all them pills and stuff, I don't think it would have helped me. I really don't think it would. I mean, as much as I suffered and as hard as it was, I mean, I don't think that would have helped me, Jim.
Well, we see very little relief from a medical perspective on anxiety and hyperstimulation. That's the reality that we see.
I never did.
A lot of people on it, and I see very little change. It's like, oh my God, you're taking meds.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be better.
Yeah.
But you want me to take them? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the opioid crisis in America. Do you guys have an opioid crisis in Canada?
We do. Yeah. Yeah, we do.
It is severe in America.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I told them at the vet, they were like, we had a doctor come in here and he freaked out that we were going to put his dogs on narcs. I said, but if you could see what's going on, you would understand why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I better go. I better go eat some lunch. I feel like I've run my mouth all day.
Oh,
probably because I'm home all the time by myself. I don't talk to nobody.
Chat, yeah.